The problem is that some of the more fundamental people do not want to see Charlie helping, because they say only Islam is a good religion. If we see this man doing good, there may be a perception that Christianity is a good religion, and it's not.
Religion is the problem. Religion has been responsible for an awful lot of evil in the world. It's been responsible for an awful lot of good as well, yeah. But you got to be honest. The Crusades, Jesus definitely said he didn't want a material kingdom, yeah? And then they go and start killing people in order to get back to Holy Land. And there was a pope behind it. And that's stupid, yeah? And totally against what Jesus is on about. He doesn't want a physical kingdom, it's a spiritual kingdom, yeah? God's love is infinite. He loves everybody the same.
Indonesia has one of the most biodiverse ecosystems in the world. But intensive deforestation in the past 3 decades has seen the loss of nearly half the country's forests, with catastrophic consequences for wildlife and the environment. Working with locals in the region, Charlie has been trying to address the crisis by planting trees at an astonishing rate, with 400,000 in the ground already and plans for 500,000 more. A quarter are fast-growing commercial trees, and when harvested, they will be worth millions of euro. The profits will be used to ensure that Charlie's projects can be sustained long into the future.
You're wasting your time if you just set up a thing and it's totally dependent on yourself, and then when you die, it's gone. So you can actually make money by serving the poor. Then it becomes sustainable.
Charlie's love affair with money is very interesting. What do you do with money? How do you make money grow? How do you give money to people so they can use it? So he now has his own bank.
Several years ago, Charlie Burrows discovered a major obstacle holding the people back. Most were simply too poor to qualify for loans or investment from banks. His response was to raise a small collateral investment from one of his donors to capitalize a new bank. He sat the Indonesian exams, became an accredited banker, and has since grown the value of the initial investment to over €250,000, a fortune in these parts. Charlie's bank is unusual, but not unique, as Irish social banker Paul O'Sullivan explains.
What you're trying to do is to take financial products, financial instruments, and put them to work pursuing issues of social justice, rather than the typical model of the financial services industry, which is money's only purpose is to make more money. In the social finance model, the purpose of the finance is actually to improve the lot of people, and that's exactly what Charlie is doing.
He has this genius for saying, how do I use money for good? How do I multiply it? How do I make it work? You know? I think of the phrase that Jesus used, make friends of the mammon of iniquity. I know nobody who has done that like this guy.
Well, we went in and we visited the bank, and I suppose on hearing about it, I thought it'd be some kind of makeshift kind of bank. It's exactly like you'd find a bank at home. Father Charlie was just explaining to us like the student loans almost, that he'd be able to give a number of different students.
He'll say to the young people, right, I will loan you the money to go through this college to get a degree, and you pay me back in your first 2 years.
The interest, which in another financial model would be taken as profit and would be go to end up in Wall Street or the financial services centres of Frankfurt or London, in the model that Charlie has developed, that profit stays within that local community and goes back and is reinvested again and again.
If you want really safe money, and you have to have safe money if you're running schools and tertiary education and so on and so forth, yeah. But because we get reports from the bank every month, I know exactly non-performing loans and so on and so forth, yeah. And it's all on computers.
With his local organisation and support from international partners, Charlie now has 3 banks in Java. They bring in interest payments and dividends, giving the many projects he has initiated long-term security. Altogether, since he began banking 12 years ago, €8.5 million worth of loans have been granted.
It can be a catalyst for real change over a period of time, where somebody may start off with a very small loan. Maybe after 3 or 4 years, they have now developed a capacity and an income to be able to service a loan that will maybe enable them to dramatically improve the quality of their life.
Thousands of children have received schooling who never would have before. Thousands of people are eating who would not have eaten decent meals. Thousands of people have the dignity of jobs, and I mean thousands, not hundreds. They have the dignity of having a job. The infrastructure he's put in is as good as most local authorities. Being an entrepreneur and a businessman and turning that to good, and not just being caught up in commerce. He never is. He's a spiritual man. You've only got to see him saying Mass.
Dan Marila kita saling memberi tanda damai. Happy that things are going well and they work, but it's I'm happy because it's not my organisation is doing it. I'm happy because it's the people getting what they want, Happiness is a side effect of becoming more selfless. We're all growing and evolving in emotional intelligence and ability to love. And as I said, we're not going to become perfect people. The best we can come to is from being an unhappy sinner to be a happy sinner. And I'm a happy sinner.
Tanpa bantuan dari mereka mungkin Cilacap juga belum kayak ini. Ini tentunya juga kita syukuri. Tidak pernah patah semangat. Sosok orang yang cukup bagus benar.